Now, there is no doubt about it that multiple celebrities are still using the Charlie Kirk assassination, the No Kings protest, and most recently the government shutdown to push their anti-Trump narrative to the point that it's driving away audiences, it's driving away fans of actors, actresses, writers, directors, producers, and even comedians out there as well that are displaying these extreme views. Now, we know one thing about Jane Fonda, for example. She's at the very top of the list of actresses out there that are quite insufferable, passing their activism as a way to actually use their acting platform, whether it's through their following or their fans, to push their overall narrative to the point that it is actually backfiring on the studios that they represent. Now, we know one thing about Jane Fonda right now is that she definitely got worse. I would definitely say so within the past, 6 to 8 months, give or take, after her multiple Trump tirades, after her Charlie Kirk-related comments and more. However, what's interesting here has a lot more to do with what happened to Jane Fonda recently. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, the thing about Jane Fonda is that she never seems to get the memo, she never seems to get the idea that she is actually costing her own career, she's actually driving her own career into the ground, and she's been trying to really make a comeback, even in her 80s, when it comes down to comedic roles, when it comes to, revitalizing her fitness career. Yes, she was trying to actually land a actual TV show with HBO Max about yoga and meditation. That also failed. That backfired because of her comments about Trump and Charlie Kirk. However, when it comes down to her actual time in the public eye, this is when it really hits rock bottom. Now, with the Charlie Kirk assassination still to this day causing many Hollywood celebrities to lash out at the general public with their toxic views of President Trump and his supporters, one major development going on now involves more to do with Jane Fonda and the recent backlash that she received after her several comments made about President Trump and Charlie Kirk backfired. And it turns out that recently Jane Fonda took a trip out to Las Vegas to visit the Vegas Sphere's Wizard of Oz experience. Jane Fonda was escorted into the stadium of the Sphere by multiple bodyguards after she stepped out of her black SUV, where she was signing autographs and taking pictures with people. Now, shockingly, Jane Fonda was booed inside the lobby of the Vegas Sphere because she showed up with a No Kings shirt that was reportedly black in color with yellow text on the front and back of that very shirt. A large group of those in the lobby of the Vegas Sphere were not only booing at Jane Fonda, but also shouting "No to No Kings" repeatedly to Jane Fonda and her 6 bodyguards while they were escorting her throughout the lobby. The booing and shouting got so intense to the point that she was actually booed out of the stadium for a time, where security had to actually step in to take Jane Fonda through a different entrance, one that is specifically used for public figures. Jane Fonda was said to actually have her own private suite in the Vegas Sphere, and it took a very strategic entrance to get her back in from getting heckled again, where she was reportedly, of course, put in disguise to avoid the drama during her previous entrance. Now, regardless of this, after the show concluded, Jane Fonda was being escorted out of the Vegas Sphere Stadium and was noticed yet again by the public, where she was booed at several times before leaving to get picked up by her private transport. To make matters worse for Jane Fonda is that she gave herself away by sporting a No Kings hoodie, even after disguising herself with a pair of sunglasses and a large black hat that she used. Now, guys, let me say one thing about this. Now, the fact that she keeps sporting the No Kings attire, it's not helping her case at all whatsoever. In fact, it's only putting herself in a position to be, booed at, to get heckled by the public, by an actual, public crowd out there, and it's all because of her, alright? This is all her doing. She's just asking for it at this point. And the fact that you had, a lot of people in the lobby of the Sphere, shouting "No to No Kings" multiple times, it goes to show you that people are not having it when it comes to the celebrities out there that sport attire like this. Now, once again, This is, of course, once more living proof of how rejected Jane Fonda is right now to people that found her comments about Trump and Charlie Kirk offensive and repulsive. Already, Fonda's team is pressuring her to never wear No Kings attire ever again if she wants to avoid hecklers and getting booed at in the public. This is said to be the 4th or 5th time now that this happened while attempting to attend a major event, and also comes after she was fired and let go from various studios over her Trump and Charlie Kirk related comments that backfired. In addition to this, however, Jane Fonda is also planning to attend multiple NFL games in various states, and her team, including her bodyguards, are also pressuring her to ditch the No Kings attire for those events and to also disguise herself in a different way if she truly wants to avoid the heckling. Now, again, let me just say one thing about Jane Fonda. This is all on her. If she really wants to avoid another situation like this of what happened at, Vegas, or what happened during the No Kings protest, for example, and during her time on The View, multiple times within the past month and a half, give or take, she's been dealing with a lot of backlash, and you know what, for right reasons out there. She said some crazy, wacky things about Trump, Charlie Kirk, and their supporters, to the point that she's really in a worse position, I would definitely say so, than the past 8 to 12 months. There's no doubt about that. But looking at all of this, the fact that you have Jane Fonda, sporting the No Kings hoodies, the shirts, on and off everywhere, it goes to show you that she really has no care in the world about how she's viewed, to the point that, really it's all about just pushing the agenda, and that's all it's about. Now, Jane Fonda is said to actually not want to ditch wearing the No Kings clothing, as she believes it's her purpose in life right now to promote that movement to the people and to the public, regardless of the consequences. So, look, I've said this so many times, but the many actors and actresses out there like Robert De Niro, Jane Fonda, Tom Hanks, many others out there that continue to double down on this very toxic rhetoric and really just pushing their politics onto their own fans. People are just very tired of it. They're exhausted about it all. They are moving on to the point that they can't even watch their older work, their older movies from decades ago, because all they see is the face of the modern version of themselves, right? For example, when you look at Robert De Niro in Casino, a lot of people can't even bring themselves to watch that movie again because all they see is the Robert De Niro of 2025 and all the nonsense that he's spouting most recently. We all saw what he did on MSNBC by calling Trump supporters fascists, basically, and how that backfired as well on the studios that he was representing. And I think it's a very interesting turn of events that you now have Jane Fonda continuously actually wearing the No Kings hoodies, the shirts, the hats, and how it's really just putting her on the spot, and it's all her doing, right? This is all on her. Like I pointed out earlier in this video, she's just asking for it at this point. And look, we all know at the same exact time, this is exactly why a lot of celebrities are just losing support at a record rate. People are just bailing. They're looking to other forms of entertainment out there, shifting away from movies and television programs at a rate that we have never seen before. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about Jane Fonda below in the comments. Anything ranging from her time in the public to her time behind the scenes of specific television programs and more. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.